Are you thinking about moving to the Tampa Bay area, but you keep hearing that the Florida market is crashing? Prices are falling, sellers are desperate, and now is the time to go in and lowball everything. And you're sitting there wondering if any of that is true? Well, welcome back to Tampa Bay, Florida Living. I'm Minh with MM Selection Group, and today I'm gonna give you the real deal on what's actually happening in this market right now. No hype, no fluff, just the real truth. And if you stay to the very end, I got some Florida law update that if you already own property here, this is gonna make your day. Let's get in. Let's just say it out loud. Florida housing market is not crashing. It's correcting. And I need you to understand the difference because it matters. A crash looks like people losing their homes, foreclosures flooding the market, prices falling off the cliff overnight. That is not what we're seeing. Homes are sitting on the market longer, like 44 to 98 days on the average right now in the Tampa Bay area. Median home prices in Hillsborough County hovering around $390,000. Active listings roughly 18% compared to spring of last year. That's not a crash. That's a market taking a breath after years of absolute chaos. And honestly, after the bidding wars and wave inspections and that take it or leave it energy we dealt with for the last few years, this is a little breathing room. Sounds pretty good to me. What do you think? Drop that in a comment. I actually read them. And this is where buyers actually win. Now let's talk about this whole desperate seller narrative. Are sellers desperate? Not exactly, but they are more flexible than they have been in years, like 100%. And that's a massive shift from where we were. Before, as buyers, you had to overpay, skip the inspection, and basically beg someone to sell you their house. That was the reality. Right now, sellers are covering closing costs. Sellers are buying down your interest rate, and sellers are actually sitting down, negotiating instead of laughing at your offer and going with someone else. Mortgage rate buy downs from sellers are pretty popular now, and closing cost assistance and repair credits are showing up deal after deal. So buyers gone from begging to bargaining, and that's the shift. And this right here is where many buyers are winning. So what kind of market are we actually in right now? Are we leaning into buyer-friendly territory? And the data backs that up. Zillow ranked Tampa Bay as one of the top buyers market in the entire country. Redfin even backed that up. Multiple sources are saying the same thing. Now, is it a full buyer's market across every neighborhood, every price point? Not quite, but the power is shifting, and that changes how you should be playing this. If you're a buyer right now, you have options. You have leverage, you're not being rushed. In the markets I've been working in for over 10 years, that combination does not come around very often. So if you're a seller, the game has changed. You cannot price high and wait. You need strategy. You need your home to show well, and you need to be realistic because depending on how you see it, your next move looks very different. Okay, let's talk about why we got here, because this did not happen overnight. Interest rates went up, monthly payments went up, buyers pumped the brakes. Simple as that. Mortgage rate are sitting around 6.3% right now nationally. And that has cooled a lot of the demand we saw during the pandemic years. Insurance in Florida. Now let's talk about something everybody's worrying about right now. And that's insurance in Florida. You probably heard it's too high and companies are leaving. And yes, some of that is true, but here's what most people don't realize. This is actually creating opportunities for buyers. In Florida, homes have to meet certain standards like roof, AC, electrical, plumbing to qualify for insurance. And if they don't, it becomes harder or more expensive. So here's the shift. Before you had no power to ask for anything. Now you get to negotiate. You can ask for a new roof, updated system, or repairs before closing. And sellers are actually saying yes. So let me ask you, would you rather overpay and fix everything later or have the seller handle it up front? Because this right now, what scares other buyers is exactly where you gain leverage. Now let's talk about inventory, because a lot of people are wondering why there's so many homes on the market right now. A big reason is the post-storm 2024 in certain areas where homeowners moved out while repairs are happening and others took their insurance payout and decided to sell instead. At that time, heavily damaged homes are being torn down and replaced by developers building newer elevated homes. So what we're really seeing is a reset with better construction coming in. Add in new constructions in places like Wesley Chapels, plus some sellers still pricing like it's a hot market, and that's why inventory is stacking up. So let me ask you this. Do you think this is a problem or an opportunity? All right, here's where I got to be real with you, because I see this constantly. Everybody is waiting for the crash. And I get it. You've seen the headlines, you watch the YouTube videos. You think if you just wait a little longer, prices are gonna fall off the cliff and you'll scoop in and buy for pennies on a dollar. And let me ask you something though. What do you think happens the second interest rates drop? I'll tell you exactly what happens. Every buyer who's been sitting on the sideline rushes back in the same time. Competition spikes, price goes up, and now you're in a bidding war again, except you wait a year and home costs more than it did when you started watching. That's not a theory. That's what happens in real estate every single time. There's a difference, and only you know the answer. Let me give you a real example of what opportunities look like right now. We recently helped a seller get $100,000 off the purchase price. $100,000. Now, full transparency, the home was in a flood affected area. And yes, that matters because you have to know what you're buying. This was a waterfront home, water access, private boat dock to go out to the Tampa Bay. Homes in that corridor sell for around $700,000 as is and close to $1 million when renovated. And we secured it well below that number. Now here's the part I really want you to hear. That buyer did not pay our commission out of their own pocket, not a single dollar. The seller covered it. So this buyer got a killer deal, kept their cash, and made a smart long-term play without writing a check to us. And that's how we work at Selection Group. We get the seller to pay for our commission, period. Should buyers wait? Let's get to the question I get asked more than anything right now. Should I wait to buy? Honest answer, it depends. And I'm not gonna give you a fake always buy now speech because I'm a realtor. That's not how I operate. If you're waiting for a massive crash where prices drop 30 to 40%, you could be waiting a very long time. Tampa Bay is still a desirable place to live. People are still moving here. The demand doesn't go away. But this is what is true right now. You have leverage. You have the options. You have time to do your due diligence properly. And that's something buyers haven't had in years. And I want you to remember this because it matters more than anything else. I'll say it today. You can refinance your rate, but you cannot refinance the purchase price. Say that again with me. You can always refinance when rates drop, but you cannot refinance the purchase price because the price you pay is locked in forever. And right now, prices are softer than they've been in years. Right now, let me talk to sellers for a second. If you're a buyer, you can still listen to this useful information. Sellers, I know you're thinking, I'll just wait until the market heats back up. And look, I hear that, but here's what I need you to understand. The buyers who are out right now are smarter than ever. They're doing their research, they're seeing the data, they know what homes are going for. And if you price your home above market and it sits for 60 or 90 days, that listing goes stale and you can end up taking way less what you have gotten if you priced it right from the start. So the strategy right now is simple. Price it correctly on day one, make it look incredible. Invest in staging, the photography, and be open to negotiation. That's not weakness. That's how you win in this market. Okay, if you made it so far, first, I wanna thank you. Second of all, this is the part I promised you at the beginning. 2 major Florida updates that every property owner needs to know about right now. Here's something that's been flying under the radar for most people. The Florida House of Representatives voted 80-30 to pass a resolution that would phase out non-scoop property taxes on homestead properties, meaning your primary residence. To be fully transparent with you, the Senate didn't take it up before the regular session ended in March, but a special session has been called for the week of April 20th, and this isn't going away. Governor DeSantis has been pushing hard for full property tax elimination for homeowners. If this ultimately passes and voters approved it in November, we're talking about Florida becoming the only state in the country with no income tax and no property tax on primary residence. Let that sink in. Nothing is finalized, but the momentum is real. And for anyone who owns a home in Florida or thinking about buying one, you need to be watching this and make sure you reach out to your state representative if you want this law to pass. The Florida's new squatter law. Now this is the one that changed the game for property investors and second home owners in Florida. Florida passed a law that completely changed how squatters are handled. Here's the old nightmare scenario. Someone breaks into your vacant property, prints a fake lease off the internet, and suddenly you're stuck in months-long civil eviction process while they're living in your house and you're paying the mortgage. That now is a criminal matter in Florida. If someone unlawfully enters your property, creates a fraudulent lease, and tries to claim they live there, you can call the sheriff, show to prove that you own the property, and they can be removed. No months of court hearing, no nightmare. For investors, for people with vacation home properties, for second homeowners, this is a massive deal. This was one of the biggest risks holding people back from owning investment properties in Florida, and it has been addressed. All right, let's bring it all together. Is the Florida housing market crashing? No. Is it shifting? Absolutely. Is there real opportunity right now? 100%. The buyers who are going to win in this market are not the ones sitting on a couch waiting for a crash. They're the ones who are educated. They're watching the market. They understand the data. And when the right deal shows up, they move. And the sellers who are going to come out ahead, they're pricing right. They're preparing their homes properly, and they're working with someone who actually knows this market. And that's where me and my team at Selection Group comes in. We've been living and working in Tampa Bay for over a decade. We know these neighborhoods, we know these streets, we know how to get our clients the best possible outcome, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure out your next move. And remember, if you're buying, you do not pay our commissions because we get our commissions from the seller. So you get a seasoned local agent in your corner for zero out of pocket. So reach out to me and my team directly for a free consultation. All our information is in the description below. You may call, text, and email me and my team. And let's talk about your situation and figure out what makes sense for you. Before you go, comment below right now and tell me, are you buying, selling, or just watching the market? And if this video gave you real value today, subscribe if you haven't already. And do me a favor, would you share this video with someone you know who's been asking questions about the Tampa Bay area market? Because they need to see this. I'm Minh, and I'll see you next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.